where you stand politically without actually telling me.
I disagree with people when they say that the system is flawed. The criminal justice system isn't broken. It was built off of racism and classism. It was built to suppress us and protect the ruling class. It's working the way it was designed to. Rich people cannot exist without there being poor people who sell their labor for a wage that they can barely get by with. But the thing is, the rich are fully dependent on the working class because they can only accumulate their wealth with the value created through our labor. Poverty isn't just this thing that happens when people don't work hard enough. It's a feature of capitalism. Capitalism cannot be reformed. It needs to be completely dismantled for actual change, because we're not getting anywhere.
This TikToker has pointed out something that is absolutely correct and very critical for anybody that wants any change in the United States to understand. The truth of the matter is that the United States was founded by and for white supremacists to protect their power, and specifically to protect the power of wealthy white business owners over everybody else. That is the foundational roots and from which all of the systems we have were created. And any attempt to change these systems has been met with extreme resistance from the highest levels of government. A perfect example is the Equal Protection Clause under the 14th Amendment. Now, that theoretically was supposed to give equal rights to black folks in the United States of America. However, the way that the Supreme Court interpreted it was to say that it guaranteed constitutional rights to corporations which protected their workplace discrimination. What was originally designed to protect black Americans was literally warped by the Supreme Court to become a protection for corporations over workers. It was literally used to shut down unions, to shut down child labor laws, and to shut down anti-discrimination practices by states. I mean, think about that for a second. When the federal government tried to pass a law to stop child labor, the Supreme Court stepped in to prevent that law. That is the degree to which all of the systems that exist in place are there to protect white supremacy. And we can take this to a modern example as well. Right now, Chuck Schumer is talking about putting up a vote to filibuster and thinking about changing the rules around the filibuster. But think about this for a minute. What is the origin of the filibuster? Well, the filibuster was created by and for white supremacists to stop any type of civil rights legislation passing through. That is its very origin and purpose. Even in Chuck Schumer stating that he wants to vote to change the filibuster, Chuck Schumer did not acknowledge that history, but instead of acknowledging that history, Chuck Schumer tried to say in his statement that the filibuster originally had some sort of purpose of preventing obstruction. I don't understand how a rule allowing obstruction was meant to prevent obstruction, but this is the level of mental gymnastics that elected leaders in the United States of America to this very day are willing to do in order to protect and defend white supremacist institutions. Because, and this is what we need to understand, white supremacy is the sacred tradition of the United States Congress, and especially of the United States Supreme Court, which is why the Supreme Court right now is thinking about throwing Roe v. Wade in the gutter. We have to remember the extreme degree of mobilization that was required to get basically any positive change in this country. The civil rights movement literally took years and years of constant organizing efforts by huge individuals who had massive following. Basic labor protections took decades and decades of protests, of riots, of labor union organizing, all of which was directly challenged by violent police officers and by Supreme Courts shutting down labor unions and literally even imprisoning labor leaders like Eugene Debs. All of the systems that exist from bottom to top are rooted in white supremacy and capitalist oppression. To fail to understand this is to fail to understand American history, which is why this TikToker is so correct when she says that the system is working exactly as intended. When working class people suffer and die because of this coronavirus pandemic, all while rich people continue to see record-breaking profits, that is exactly what the United States was designed to do. And it is our job today, in this the year 2022, to make sure that we see to it that our system does not continue to operate this way. That we dismantle systems of white supremacy, which fundamentally means dismantling a lot of the institutions that were set up. Because at their very core, from their very birth, these institutions were created by and for white supremacists. So we shouldn't be shocked when they have racist impacts. And the rational response to this is not marginal reforms. It is radical, systemic, and structural changes. This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain on the Young Turks Twitch channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.